English 5. Focus. Listening. 10 Journeys of a Lifetime. Listen to the following speakers talking about journeys of a lifetime. After each speaker, there will be a pause to give you time to answer the questions by marking the best alternative, A, B, C or D, in the boxes. You will hear the information only once, so listen carefully. But first, look at question 1 about Belize in Central America.
A classic journey through Central America, tracing the route of the ancient Mayans, the indigenous people of Guatemala, Belize, and Mexico. Doing it by brightly painted chicken bus is part of the fun, and is the best way to arrive at the colorful local markets, famed for their textiles. For a perfect combo, take in the Mexican Mayan ruins. Chill out in Belize for whitewater rafting and diving the barrier reef. Then see Guatemala's great carpets of jungle and the volcanic landscapes.
Listen, please.
Traversing the heart of South Island's wild fjord country, the Milford Track is often described as the finest walk in the world. Famed for spectacular sogginess, Milford in the rain, when torrents of water rushed down the inky mountains, was the 8th wonder of the world, according to Kipling. Highlights include a possible encounter with a genuine kiwi, blue glacial lakes, sheer granite canyons, and mystical mossy forests, very Lord of the Rings. On sunny days, you can swim in icy waterholes. The trek culminates in a boat trip on Milford Sound, home to fur seals and bottlenose dolphins.
Listen, please.
Timbuktu, this fabled city in Mali, one of Africa's landlocked and least visited countries. On the southern edge of the Sahara, it is being slowly lost to the invading sands, so go before it disappears. Meet the 15,000 remaining nomadic Tuareg. Join them on a camel ride and sleep out under the stars. Other Mali highlights include sailing a traditional wooden boat down the Niger River, camping out on the banks, and visiting the Dogon villages, known for their cave-like houses with stone steps scoured out of the cliff face.
Listen, please.
To the Sherpas and Tibetans, Everest is Chomolungma, Mother Goddess of the Earth. To the rest of us, the crown jewel of the Himalayas invokes tales of unbelievable human courage and strength. Today, a trek to base camp should be within range of any fit regular weekend walker. Those who've done it say nothing compares with that roof-of-the-world feeling as you stand there in awed silence, surrounded by towering snow-capped peaks. That said, the Himalayas are as famed for their vibrant rhododendron forests as their snowy tops. You'll also need a camera for cliffside monasteries with football-playing monks and colourful yak trains.
Listen, please.
Often known as the Amundsen route, this is a genuine epic voyage on little explored waterways, crossing the Arctic Circle, linking the Atlantic and the Pacific Oceans. The excitement starts from day one with a helicopter transfer from Anchorage, Alaska, to your trusty icebreaker, as well as stunning ice and snow scenery, including calving icebergs and glaciers. You should encounter polar bears, seals, musk oxen, and Arctic foxes. Highlights include whale watching in the Bering Strait, visiting remote Inuit communities, and viewing the weathered remains of the Maud, the schooner in which Amundsen sailed the North Polar Basin in the 1920s.
Listen, please.
Named after the tough Afghan camel drivers who brought trade and provisions to the heart of the continent, the Ghan has always evoked the romance of the Australian outback. The long-awaited link to Darwin from Alice Springs opens next month, making it possible for the first time to cross the country from Adelaide by the Silver Train with its steel carriages. Starting in the green hills of the temperate wine-growing region, the train snakes through to the harsh red outline of the McDonnell Ranges before encountering the lush emerald rainforest of the top end.
Listen, please.
In the 1940s, a privileged few took the most romantic flying route in history, from Auckland by seaplane to the Coral Islands of the South Pacific. You can still do it, sadly without the old flying boats. Until you've witnessed one of the Pacific's characteristic lagoons, you won't know the true meaning of the word blue. Naturally, there are lots of hotels and locals after your tourist dollar, but the sand truly is like walking on powdered silk. Ripe tropical fruit falls off the tree into your lap, and people still look as if they are posing for a Gauguin painting.
Listen, please.
Canoeing the length of Africa's mighty Zambezi River would mean a costly 2-month expedition of around 15,000 pounds a head. However, anyone of average fitness should be able to manage a 5-day paddle through Mana Pools National Park in the river's lower reaches. Water, rather than engine power, allows you to get up close and personal to elephants and buffaloes swimming across the river. You can also expect to see lions, monkeys, and even the elusive wild dog. Birders are in feathered heaven with 350 recorded species, including rare African skimmers.
Listen, please.
Immortalized and romanticized both in song and on celluloid, Route 66 stretches 2,400 miles across the U.S. from Chicago to Los Angeles. Along the way, it weaves through Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, New Mexico, and Arizona, taking in several climate regions. Sadly, most of the original route was lost in the 1970s when the road was decommissioned. But nostalgia buffs refuse to let go. The old signs are going back up, and the spirit of the highway lives on in zinc and leather banquette diners selling proper juicy burgers. The fun way to cross it is, as ever, in Easy Rider style on a Harley-Davidson.
Listen, please.
Africa's greatest dust and dung moment, the annual migration of up to 1.5 million wildebeest across the vast Serengeti, is one of the world's natural wonders. You don't have to be a wildlife freak to be stirred by the ground-trembling thunder of the hooves and awed by the sight of a moving ocean of black beasts stretching to the horizon. The wildebeest also run with tens of thousands of skittish zebras. The vast herds follow the rains from Tanzania to Kenya's Masai Mara, where you can even expect to see several of the big cats.